Oh my god, it's so stupid right now. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been so long since I've made a video here. I think it's almost 3 months. Definitely not once since definitely not once since the new year. I have been needing to make this video for so long though because the last 3 months have been so long. Uh, how was everyone else's new year? I mean, 2017 was not a bad year, in my opinion, for me, in any estimate. But 2018, also not a bad year yet. I'm not anticipating that it will be, but there's just been lots of obstacles, lots of feelings, lots of things happening. Trying not to say but it's shaping up to be very constructive and healthy and lots of growth, and for that I could not ask for more. So I just kind of want to like recap like what the last few months exactly I've kind of like what I've kind of learned and like what kinds of things I've come to. God, I have picked such a bad day to film this video. I'm finally getting the opportunity to film it, and I'm just so anxious and I am so irritable. So bear with me. I already feel like imperfect, but okay, so let's start with like December. What happened in December was it's kind of like when I first started. I don't know what to call it. Maybe like backsliding. Really, I started kind of really getting overwhelmed, and I was feeling so much stress. And I realize now that I need that my lesson for me the lesson at the time was I need to learn patience and I need to practice patience. I have to be patient. You're not going to get what you want when you want it, and that was extremely difficult to me. I knew when I was going through it too that I was like, oh my god, I have to be like I can't do anything. I can't get the answers I want right now. And what was happening, I have to bring it up and I have to talk about this again, not only because it happened to me, but to share the experience of how unreal this HIV scare that happened earlier this year has been, how it's still affecting me, and how much it played a toll on me at the end of the year. And even now, like, I'm in a completely different mental health headspace. So what happened is I went in I went in for another test, like as you do, every couple months you should go get tested. And I got my result back and it was positive. And this was alarming. It was the mouth swab, the rapid test. Once again, it came back positive, and I was like, okay, this has happened before. Like, okay, like what's going on? I'm like not freaking out actually because I'm like, this has happened before. And I go get my blood work done again, and it comes back negative. So I'm like, okay, I trust the blood test. I don't have HIV, right? And apparently that is not always the case. So I get told by my doctor to stop taking the anti-HIV medication that I'm taking, Truvada, also called PrEP. That was another thing. I'm like, how do I have HIV? I've been on PrEP. Like, please don't tell me like that shit don't work. So, which is like, it's kind of like in its early stages. So I feel like that could happen at like any time, like, oh, by the way, this causes brain cancer. We found out that, finding out 10 years later. Or it actually gives you HIV. It's kind of dark. So I get told by my doctor to stop taking the Truvada and get tested again in 30 days. Okay. That just thinking about doing that, going that full 30 days, and then not knowing what my status is and that it could be positive again was like all the way. I'm all the way back in March or April of last year. It's been a year now. So I'm already back. I'm going through this exact same thing again. So, I mean, I was shocked. I was like, it was unreal to me. I was like, oh my god. I wasn't really freaking out about having HIV. I wasn't really, obviously if I don't have it, it's like, that's like the better result. That's obviously ideal, but like having HIV is not the worst case scenario for me, or probably for any of you watching this video once you go through it, because the worst case scenario, what feels the worst place to be is in the middle, not knowing which one it is. So that was driving me. I was okay for the first 2 weeks, you know? So that about, actually, excuse me, I was okay up until the 30 days was up. I stopped taking the Truvada for the 30 days. And then, so now it's supposed to be out of my system. I'm supposed to get retested. Go in to get retested. That's when shit started to hit the fan for me. I have to wait 2 weeks to get my result. So I'm like, oh my God, like this is like starting to drive me fucking crazy. Like, I have to be patient. I can't do anything. No one can do anything. They're like, we'll expedite the results because this is a sensitive matter. You're going through a lot right now. And I was like, yeah, I need a fucking crisis counselor. You know what I mean? And just to like kind of like clarify, the reason why they took me off of the anti-HIV medication is because they were afraid that the medication was causing me to test. Let me start over. The medication was causing me to test negative when I was actually positive. So it was keeping the test, it was fooling the test basically. It was making it look like I don't have HIV when I possibly could have HIV. So the only way to tell is stop taking the anti-HIV medication, and then maybe we'll get your result back as you positive. Maybe you are positive. So it was just something that they had to see. I don't even know if that's ever happened before. So I go off the deep end in this 2 weeks. It was almost like harm reduction, or like it was like some sort of, because it wasn't like it wasn't like I went off the deep end. Basically, it was like a controlled jump. And so I told everyone, I'm like, I gotta feel this right now. I don't know how to handle it. I'm overwhelmed with emotions. I mean, that's the only thing I can remember happening at the time, but I'm sure if I like thought about it a little bit more, I could remember all of the other co-occurring situations that made me really, really overwhelmed. So it's like my birthday now. The 30 days ended. It's like I go get my blood test. It's like my birthday. I'm waiting these 2 weeks, and I just get like smashed for like, I think, a couple times over this 2 weeks, like really like probably 3 days at a time. And then like I would be sober for a while, and then I went to like Vegas and like came back and I got smashed some more. It was just like, I kind of like distracted myself. And luckily I had like really, if you're watching this, thank you. I had like really, really good friends, and I was able to lean on them through this time. And some of them were in Vegas. I had like a really amazing time when I was in Vegas. And it's like, when you think of Vegas, you think of partying and like all this crazy stuff, and like probably like the other nights that I was drunk during this like phase. But actually when I was in Vegas, it was like those sober days. It was really, really nice. I relaxed. I connected to my friends spiritually. I connected to my own emotions. I activated my physical body and got like good exercise, and like I was good. And then I went home, and then it's just like, I just like, dealt with it how I dealt with it. Which isn't like the best. But like that none of us are perfect. And I was like, this is how I'm going to deal with it. I have tried all of the other coping mechanisms that I know. Nothing is working for me. I don't care. I'm going down the drain. So I just went through it, picked myself back up, and then I started calling the clinic. I was like, okay, 2 weeks is up. I want my answers. Nothing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, your results are it doesn't look like your results are in. Give us a call in a few days. We'll call you. Oh, so-and-so is your nurse. You need to call back and talk to her. She'll call you. Okay, so now we're at Christmas. I'm like, okay, can I get those results like before Christmas? And then they're like, oh yeah, that will be the absolute latest. You will get them way before Christmas. I'm in Florida now, visiting my family for Christmas, and my Christmas present is you get to keep worrying if you have HIV. So my family, at this point, they know exactly what's going on because there's like no way I could keep it together. I was like, oh, hey, we hardly ever talk about me being gay, but guess what? I might have HIV. So are you going to still love me then? That was part of like my whole like mental fucking figuring it out. And I was like, my family, like, they don't accept me. And I was like dealing with all these childhood issues. They were coming up. And it was just like, it was like almost like, this is so dramatic. I'm not saying that it's all, I'm not saying it's at all like the same, but like when you kind of like are at the end of your life, like you go through like these like life changing, like epiphany, like these, you ask all these questions and you like do all this deep thinking and you have all these realizations. Well, it's nothing like that intense, but like I was having like these realizations, like, you know, about getting HIV. Like I'm like ashamed. I'm ashamed to be gay, and like my family isn't gonna love me, and they're gonna disown me. Well, not disown me. They're just gonna keep up their wall for me, and I'm just gonna have my separate life. And it's like they're like I can't talk about it with them. And I was really humbled and blown away by the support that I got from my family, and it was so overdue. I was so grateful. I felt so comfortable being back home, knowing that they knew what was going on with me. There was like I wasn't hiding this big secret. So funny. I left before New Year's, and I think it was the 27th day of my flight. I'm packing up my suitcase. I'm about to walk out the door. The phone rings. And I didn't have HIV. They did an extensive HIV test where it's like more than just like the dollar store brand. You know, they do like the real thing. So like apparently there's like different levels where they can like go in deeper. So they did like the most extensive one that there is out there. And for now, I am negative. That was a huge relief. My family was really happy for me. So next, this video is obviously not going to be short. I don't care. It's like, this one's for me. You don't have to watch it. So now, when I was in Florida, I was applying for lots of jobs because I needed a new job. And I got many job offers, great opportunities, but the best one for me was in San Francisco. So I was like, okay, I'm going to move to San Francisco temporarily. I'm going to like work this job, see how it goes. Maybe I can transfer to the LA location. It was at a hotel, a very nice hotel that, I mean, I've stayed at it before, and it's called Lowe's Hotel. And basically I packed up my stuff for a little while, and I moved to San Francisco. Now, what happened in San Francisco was not happening for me. San Francisco wasn't happening for me. I have to say, I've had great times every single time I visited San Francisco, but living there, totally different. I did not like the part of town I was living in, which, believe it or not, I'd never visited there before. Why would a tourist visit Oakland? So living in a part of town that I don't, it's not my favorite, but that's not even the worst part. The commute to my job, which was in the business district, was so far, and you have to rely on public transportation because parking a car in the city is impossible, and it's super expensive even if you are able to do it. So that being said, I worked a little bit while I was there, and I made great money in the short time, but it wasn't happening. I wasn't able to save money. I moved back to LA. Coming back to LA was really hard because I felt like I really came up short, even though like nothing I did was wrong. I did the best I could moving to San Francisco. I gave it a chance. It was better than not going. I wanted to at least, I didn't want to look back and wish that I had gone. So the best thing to do is to just do it and then look back and see that it didn't work for you. So I tried, and I returned, and it was like so being there was it was like a great experience that it happened. But I mean, my city is LA, and I love it here. So the feelings that I dealt with, I just felt like really, really. I just felt sad that it didn't work out. I really wanted it to work out. I really wanted to like everything, and I wanted it to go well. I wanted to make money. I wanted to like this job. I wanted to transfer back to LA. I wanted everything to go my way. But it didn't, and I was having I accepted it, but I was still just feeling the feelings of something shitty. It was a lot of effort, and it wasn't worth it. The learning experience, there is always one somewhere in there. I wasn't seeing it at the time, but I went through a little bout of depression. I kind of just didn't do anything for a while, and I just kind of like needed to regroup, and that's just kind of where I'm at. So, I mean, sorry for I'm dragging this out for 15 minutes, but that's where I'm at. I'm looking for new work. I'm working on myself, and I'm working on my relationships with others. So I'm also working on, like, I've already said my work, but I feel like I'm working on like my passions, and I'm bringing my passions and creativity that I'm like discovering in myself to my work, and I'm trying to find ways to make it happen, and it's going very well. So I'm going to make more videos. Keep watching if you like them, and have a good year. Okay? Okay? All right, everyone. Ciao.